Yeah, I focus strictly on Bitcoin, and in hindsight, hindsight's always 2020. I wrote to my subscribers last June. I said I've sold most of my Bitcoin to be fully this full disclosure, fully transparent. I used it to pay off my house because I said, you know what, I don't, it seems a little frothy. I love it, but I'm going to just take some off the table. And if I'd have just stopped there, it'd have been great. I started buying it back throughout the fall and earlier this year. So I'm still not back to where I was in June of last year, June of 21, but I've been buying it too early, and it's been painful. In terms of what my thesis on it hasn't changed at all. Here too, I shared a chart showing the earlier this year showing the price of gold in Weimar Germany. Again, I don't think we're going to hyperinflate, but I think there's some directional, I think extremes inform the means. My point was that I think gold would, or Bitcoin would trade a lot like gold in Weimar Germany, which was to say, yeah, it went from 0 to a trillion in the local currency, but you needed to be unlevered and careful because there were these, you lost all of your money 4 or 5 different times in these sort of counter cyclical moves, the pivots, the tightenings, the austerity, whatever happened. And so I remember saying earlier this year, like, we're right here. It seems like for Bitcoin, right before one of these month over month changes in the price of gold in Weimar Germany. And again, in hindsight, I should have just sold everything there and bought it all back cheaper, but I didn't. So I still think Bitcoin is effectively a neutral reserve asset tied to energy for the people, a sort of a digital gold. If the Fed pivots and Bitcoin does not participate, I'll need to revisit my view of that and change that. I think it will when the Fed pivots, but that's what I'm watching for to say, okay, something's changed. I'm wrong. Yeah, owning it has felt terrible, but it's not unexpected. I've been thinking it's going to trade like gold in Weimar Germany as we go through this hyper political process of what we're going through, which is a sovereign debt crisis in the U.S., around the world, but it's centered in these developing markets. So it's not surprising, but it is painful. But if it doesn't participate in a Fed pivot, then to me that's going to force a rethink in terms of how I'm thinking about Bitcoin.
If you enjoyed this video clip, click here to watch another one you should like.